I got my hands on a 3D printer and it's working right now. So let's get you somewhere more quiet. I may have gone a little bit nuts. I decided I'm gonna start this channel trying to get as close as possible to daily content about the projects I'm working on and sharing my experiences in woodworking, 3D printing, engineering, and so on and so forth. Yeah, that's a bit of a challenge. You see, I wanted to get my hands on a 3D printer for a very long time, but due to different reasons like work, time, money, other expensive hobbies, I didn't. So a couple of weeks ago, I finally got a printer. What kind of printer and why and how I chose it, I'm gonna do in a separate video, because in this video I want to share with you my first weeks of printing frenzy that I went on. And the results of it, of course. So let's get started. The very first thing I printed was this guy. This is a razor for the top glass of my printer, which is a Bambu Lab P1S. And what this does is basically keeps the glass a little bit open so that it improves the air circulation in the enclosure. Works very nicely, prints very fast, it's a great design. However, there is a little bit of a problem. It keeps the glass under an angle. So the top surface of the printer is basically not usable. So if you want to put your AMS on top or you want to do something else on this surface, not gonna happen. This is why I went with a different design, but for this one I'll share with you when I show you the printer, because it's there and yeah, it's a bit bigger. The next thing I went on and printed, well, the next things I went on and printed are some scrapers. Yeah. So I decided I'm gonna try to see how it works with plastic scrapers. So naturally I printed the smallest and fastest one to see. It literally didn't work, so very quickly I went for a different design, which is this design. I love this design. It's pretty cool, it prints very quickly, it fits on the door, and it also doesn't really work, especially if you have a smooth plate. Just, you see, it doesn't. This is PLA, this is PETG, doesn't matter. Maybe I do something wrong, I don't know, but yeah. So I went with this one, which is another plastic idea for a scraper. This one with the possibility of changing the different blades, and it also didn't really work. It's cool, I love how it looks, but it just doesn't do the job the way I need it to. So I finally gave in and I looked into some designs with metal blades, and this is the first one I went for, and I love it. As a design, it's great. It fits still on the door handle of the printer, and it uses the cheap metal blades that you can buy from any store, like these ones. The problem with these is that you can see the angle of the blade. It's not ideal, especially if you're using a smooth blade, and the edges are so sharp, it's a bit easy, or it's very easy to damage the plate. So I still use it sometimes, but very carefully, and most of all I keep it on the door because I just like it. But the one I really love is this one. This one uses the scraper blade that you get with your printer, and of course, yeah, it's more expensive to buy. I think 3 blades are like 15 euro or something like that, or 12 euro, I don't know. But the design is great. The angle is perfect. You have this area here for the magnet. It's ergonomic. It doesn't use much filament. It actually uses very little filament, and it's really cool. So recommended. And then we go for the thing I have gone a little bit crazy with: boxes. The first type of box that I want to share with you is this one. This mesh box, stackable on top of it, is a great design. So the model comes in several different plates, several different sizes and several different styles. So well, actually two styles, one with mesh bottom and one with solid bottom. So this is the big one I printed. I've printed a lot of those, maybe 15, 20 already. I use some of them in the kitchen, some of them in the workshop, some of them in my desk drawers. I love them. They're really cool. They don't use much filament, especially with the mesh bottom. It's really, really nice. And then it really helps in organizing your stuff. This one I use at the back of the printer for the poop, because I don't like to have something attached to the printer. I prefer to have it removable on the back. Pretty simple, pretty easy, and it does collect a lot. So recommended. Thank you very much for that design. Absolutely amazing. And as we're speaking of amazing designs, the next one is also very amazing. Of course, another box, stackable box design. But these boxes I use also very much, and I love them. The reason why I love them so much is because this specific model uses very little filament, prints very quickly, and it's really, really useful. Most of the designs I found would use a lot of filament and would take a lot of time to print. Not this one. So I definitely recommend, if you need this kind of boxes, this design is absolutely brilliant. Thanks for making it available. And since we're talking about amazing designs that are available, this is another one. This, if you're like me and you have a lot of cables that you don't know what to do with, this is great. Why I love this one specifically is because it's open, so I can use different lengths of cables without worrying whether there's going to be sufficient space. But it's also using very little filament and prints very quickly. So I've printed a lot of those already to organize my stuff, and I love this design. It's really practical, really, really useful, and yeah, thanks for making it, and go ahead and print some. Amazing. But of course, not everything is sunshine and roses. Some of my prints were not so successful, and I'm going to share with you some of them now. Because, and by no means, I'm not at all blaming the design. I'm mostly blaming myself and my lack of experience. This was supposed to be a hanger for my backpack at my desk. So basically you put it on the desk and you hang your backpack here, but as you can see, it snapped. And it may be snapped because my backpack was too heavy, or maybe it snapped because I printed it in PLA, or maybe it snapped because of the infill. I have no idea, but the result is snapped. And talking about snapping, this I was so excited about. I use a lot of clamps for different purposes, especially when I do my woodworking or whatever. And I was very excited to see that I can print my own clamps in different sizes. And the moment I got it out of the printer and I was like, okay, great, showed it to my wife, she squeezed it and it snapped right here. You can imagine the disappointment. So I don't know, why did it snap? Could be because of the material, could be because of the infill, could be because of the brutality of my wife, but the result is the same. And then there is this guy. This is supposed to be a GoPro mount for a bicycle. So basically you mount this on your handlebar, you tighten it, and then here you put the GoPro. But you can see the problem, yeah? So I don't know what the reason is for this. I tried putting a rubber band here and to just kind of fix it there, but as you can see, it still doesn't work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but the result is it doesn't work so far. So I'll still try some stuff and I'll let you know if I figure it out. And of course, you cannot have a 3D printer and not print some toys. I mean, probably you can, I can't. So, this is a rubber band shooting thing. It's amazing. I'll play now a clip of me trying it in front of the camera because I lost all the bands just now. So it shoots rubber bands. It's supposed to shoot rubber bands. And that's it. But yeah, that's an amazing print. Prints quickly, relatively quickly, about 2 hours I think it took. You do need a couple of M3 screws, but it's a really cool toy, and we've had a lot of fun with the kids shooting some rubber bands. Maybe not if you ask my wife, because we made a bit of a mess, but... And then there is this. And this is by far my favorite toy so far. This brought me back into my childhood when we had one of those toys at home, and I remember the time I spent outside just chasing this propeller. It's amazing. I've printed already maybe 6 of those, lost maybe 5 propellers or so. It's just, if you have a printer and you want to have some fun time outside, just print a couple of those, go out and yeah, have fun, because this thing really, really flies. No, that was not, no, I'll try it again. I gotta bring it justice. Ready? Yeah? Epic. Okay, I tried this I don't know how many times, but I always get sidetracked or forget what I wanted to say or say something stupid. So one last time. This was it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching, for bearing with me, and I'll see you soon, hopefully in the next couple of days. And yeah, I don't have an ending line yet. The next thing, but I want to challenge him to create reality. Basically, that's it.